Do you get rugged every time you enter any sort of new DGen play when it comes to a DLMM? Well, let me show you a couple of checks. Let's get into it. Honk, honk. Let's get amongst it. All right, so here we are. Naoj, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, put out a really cool post that's very, very informative. Basically, we want to check the organic score on Jupiter, the GMGN token metrics, which I love GMGN. We also want to have a look at the supply distribution from bubble maps. That could be decent. Check out RugCheck, and then also have a look at liquidity bundle with TrenchBot. So let me show you potentially a good and decent opportunity. So what I'm using first as a tool is a dlmm.geeklad.com made by Geeklad, another Goose member. And we can see here that the top pools that are printing fees right now are Prometheus and Sol, and then there's like Cappy and Sol, and then Prometheus and Sol. So obviously, if you want to get amongst it, you're probably going to want to actually get into here, and that should let me just move over here so you can fully see that. You can see how well they are printing. So what you need to do first, you need to click on whatever pool it is you're after, and then click here so you can actually get the actual address. Click on this, copy it, and then go from there. There are other links down here as well. It goes directly to GMGN if you're keen. So the first one we've got is the actual dupe.ag organic score via the trenches. It's listing in 93. I don't really know what a perfect score is, or like obviously hundreds of perfect. I don't know what a bad score is, but 93 is pretty good. This token's going up. It's pretty recent. You can do your own research on it. This is not financial advice, just showing you what a token looks like. Okay. Now we come over here, and if we pull on back to what Naoj says, we want to look at snipers. Is it blue chip? Top 10 holders, audit, no mint, blacklist, burnt. That are the basic things. So you can refer to the tweet yourself, but we want to come here and let me just show you a couple of things. So blue chip's low at 0.6%, but it's a brand new token. It's 1 hour old. That's probably not going to be too relevant. Snipers, the first 70 snipers have all sold, or at least sold part. And we can see that the audit is safe. So you definitely don't want to get into a token that has a mint function. It means that they could just go and create more tokens. Top 10%, if the top 10% has like a really high number, that's a bad side. And blacklist, you don't want to blacklisted, and burnt. So I want to make sure that everything's 4 of 4 in my case. Then this rug probability, if we click on this, this just means that the dev that created this, not really a dev, but someone on pump.fun, right? With that wallet address, they've gone and created all these other tokens that they've just dumped. With this one, if we kind of zoom out, we can see dev bought, dev sold in this first 1 or 2 minutes. If it says run, it means the dev has sold all from that main wallet. So, having a look at this, given it's only an hour long, it could be tomorrow, it could be worth $5, it could be worth 100 million, who knows? Thus far, this is fairly decent because it ticks all of our boxes. It is new, it is very degen. Then we go over to bubblemaps.io, and depending on the refresh rate, we're not going to see this necessarily refresh too often. We'll give it a refresh, see if it is live with a bit more information for us. And we can scroll out here, and I mean, this could look pretty healthy, but cheeky scammers will try and do anything to make it look healthy, even if it isn't healthy. Also, if we go back here to the previous tab, we can see the number of holders is growing. This is the number of unique wallets. So that's very, very good. And this is 36 minutes ago. I don't know how often they recheck, or if you need to be premium or something. There's a couple of loopholes to use bubble maps, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool site. Now, RugCheck is also very cool. So shout out to all the devs making all this stuff possible so we can navigate and hopefully print some decent fees, right? So Prometheus here, Inside Networks, this isn't live yet. It does show that the creator has launched all these other tokens with small market caps, really small market caps. Give this a refresh because once again, that data might not be super live because his Prometheus has a market cap of 5.9K when it actually has like 5 million. Come on down here, you can see there's a decent amount of locked liquidity, 233,000, nothing crazy. There's a whole lot of DLMMing liquidity there, people just printing these fees. LP locked 43%, it looks good, potentially. The next thing that's very, very important is TrenchBot. So there is this, I think it's the same bot, it's available if you go into Discord, but this is TrenchBot, and we can basically see if the transactions have been bundled. So let's have a look over here. There were 3 main bundles, and the gray means that they've sold, which is what we want to see, and then the red is holding. So if we click on this first bundle here, view details, we can see the amount that was bought was 4% of the tokens, and 2.76 Sol was actually purchased. You know, that was the value they put in, and they're not holding that amount. A very small amount, 170,000 tokens. So the majority has been sold. There's another bundle here. This one was just 2 wallets, and it's a very small amount. And then this one here, by the way, the gray, remember that the gray, the majority has been sold, or like the gray represents what has been sold, the red is holding. So this is the only one that is potentially a bit of an issue here. And this shows total Sol spent, 4.77 Sol, and they're still holding 1.3%. So a sizable amount. We can see here the total bundles 54 and the Sol spent 145. And if we toggle on show empty bundles, you can see all these bundled transactions, but most of them have exited. We can only see the ones that are actually holding. A bundle total, like, yeah, it was a decent bundle. It was a decent bundle on this, to be perfectly honest. So, like, what does this look like? Well, this actually looks not too bad. We'd have to compare it to other ones. The chart's doing well for now. It could certainly go down. I'll show you that I'm actually DLMMing at the end of the video. Stick around for that. But in general, it's like, it's doing okay. So, you know, what does it look like if something isn't going okay? If we find something where we think it's hot and it's not hot, what does that actually look like? Let me show you now. So this one here is Sol to $120 for the last support. Very, very clever. It has an organic score of 71, so it's not green. Once again, I don't know what the lowest good is, but this is what we're after. The organic score is low. It's green. If we look at trenches here, we have a look at like last 1 hour, we can see 93s, 85s, 97s. These are all decent. As soon as it's gray, my understanding is not decent. This is certainly not decent, and this refers to a lot of bots getting amongst it. They get amongst it and we lose. Okay. Alrighty, so we check out gmgn.ai. Snipers, there's still some holding, some are buying more. We want these snipers out, they get in early. 981 holders, so really, really low, kind of too low. Audit down here, fine. It all passes there. And it says that the dev has sold all. Let's zoom out and have a look at the 5-minute chart. I've got the market cap here, okay? And this is like, if you ever see a chart like this, this is rubbish. Like, don't get amongst this chart. This is not to be toyed with. This is just being bid up, bid up, bid up, bid up, and then they just nuke it. And the crazy thing is, they nuked it like viciously, and then they actually built it up again before giving it a final nuke. So that was absolutely brutal. And like, the market cap right now is 6,836. But you wouldn't have known that because you didn't see the future, right? Let's have a look at the next stages. So the bubble maps here, unfortunately, has only been updated 13 hours ago. So this is where we don't actually have a whole lot of information. We get a wallet list, it's 13 hours. You need premium in order to refresh. And getting premium is like pretty damn expensive, I think. It's just not really that possible. So if it's here, cool. You can see it. If not, yeah. So when we're looking at bubble maps, we want to see it, is it like a big cluster? But then again, the bots can just spread it, all the tokens out anyway. Then we have a look at rug check, and it says risk analysis good. This is good at 501. Risk analysis 1, this is good as well. Now, this is not good. Yes, there's a small amount of locked liquidity, $8,000. The market cap's small. The holder says it's 1,200. No inside networks detected. So importantly, what we're seeing is we can see this low amount of LP providers. That's a good thing. Nothing happening over on Meteora, so that's a good indicator. And then if we have a look at the Trench Raider bundle viewer, we can't see anything. It says show empty bundles, and we can see here there is 2 bundles here. One bought up 5.36% of the supply, and the other one 79.31% of the supply. Total SOL spent 85 SOL, 15 unique wallets. So like this is completely brutal. It's just completely scamming. So that's pretty obvious to me that at the end of the day, you can work out what's good and what doesn't work for you. You have to keep in mind one important thing is not one single tool is going to be able to help you. Like Bubble Maps didn't help us in that last example. Rug Check didn't really help us in that last example either. But when it came to the bundle viewer, that was very, very decent. So you got to keep that in mind. And let me move across to the other side so you can see this is what I was trying to show you. 2 bundles and no tokens held. They just dumped them all, and it was a vicious bundle. It was a properly vicious bundle. Okay, so I said before, I'm actually DLMMing one of them. Not super actively because I'm making this video. But what I ended up jumping into was Prometheus and Sol because it looked good. I'm out of range very fast. I tried to buy the dip briefly, but it looked like I had a lot of strength, and I went very quickly out of position. But you can see that, with 2 SOL, probably like 5 minutes or whatever, it made like $31 in fees. And then this one didn't last very long and it was straight. I think it kind of came in a little bit and it went out. But I just want to point out that Meteor is the place to be. And that's a little tip on how to get amongst DLMMing. Thanks to the original poster that put it on Twitter. Very helpful. And remember, make sure you do the LP Army Bootcamp. It's well worth it. And join the Discord and just learn. Just learn. And follow any other geese that you see on the timeline. Honk. They're worth it just for their insight. The dynamics always change. And as there's money to be made, there will be scammers that will be coming for you. So just be super mindful. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Check out these videos over here. This top one, it's a long one, but it goes over everything on Meteora. It's a good basic starting point. So make sure you've watched that one before you kind of dive in any further. Cheers.